Motor Director Limited, and we are now coming up to 25 seconds to go. Horst Seiger has the honour of the number one on his bike. There's a couple of big Kawasaki's to start us off, and then we go to the Team Winfield Yamaha of Michael Rutter. 10 seconds to go as the queue of riders are in that no man's land. Just the man and machine ready for the off. 3, 2, 1. We're underway with the RST Superbike Classic. It's Horst Seiger. Hear him getting the power on as he heads down towards Bray Hill. Gap at number 2, and it's Paul Jordan on the Mistral Racing Kawasaki away. Yamaha power for Michael Rutter. James Hillier on the Ducati. Reps are going up on the Suzuki. Michael Dunlop's away. Over to the scoreboard as usual. More Suzuki power. It's Gary Johnson. And now a Kawasaki of our race winner from earlier, Jamie Coward. Another Kawasaki, it's number 9, David Johnson. And now this trick Yamaha of Connor Cummins. Flag drops. '11 is Michael Sweeney. And another Kawasaki, it's Craig Neve at 12. Team York Suzuki, 13, Sam West away. Davey Todd, number 14 on a Yamaha, the Padgett Spike. Greenhill Racing Kawasaki of 15, Derek Shields, definitely a contender. Team Classic Suzuki, Philip Crow away at 16. And the same team, it's 17, Danny Webb. '18 away is Rob Hodson. Here's number 19, Joey Thompson. Tap on the shoulder, away he goes. Ooh, just a little struggle to get into gear there. Kawasaki for number 20, Julian Trummer. He's pulling away to the side off the start. He's not going yet. Julian Trummer, he's made way for 21st away, number 24, Ryan Neen. So problems for Julian Trummer. All careful as they're still starting. 25, Forrest Dunn is away. And they're trying to push number 20, Julian Trummer. And he does get away. 35, Josh Daly away. Next to be Michael de Koppel, number 49 on his Suzuki. '37, Richard Wilson on the Norton. Lovely. 46, Andrew Farrell on the Kawasaki. Here's big Brian McCormack, number 23 on the Suzuki. 59 is Adrian Harrison on a Kawasaki. Next away, Yamaha Cumbria Radiators, Darren Cooper, number 48. But let's go to Glen Helen, Dave Christian.
Just in time to see Horst Seiger sweeping round this left-hander here at Glen Helen. First man on the road, and a little bit of a gap, of course. There was a 20-second gap between him and Paul Jordan, with Dean Harrison not starting. So a little bit of a gap. Is this more or less than 20 seconds as Jordan tips into the left-hander? It's less. Paul Jordan with the early lead. 2 seconds quicker than Seiger on the opening run in these 9 and a bit miles. But here is number 4, Michael Rutter now. Gets that big Yamaha wrestled over, back onto the power, but he's not as quick as Jordan and Seiger. He is 5 and 6 though, and Michael Dunlop has caught James Hillier on the road and does go into the lead. Number 6, Michael Dunlop, 5 seconds quicker than the nearest man, which is Paul Jordan. So Michael Dunlop takes the early lead here at Glen Helen. Gary Johnson comes through, he goes into second place. So Gary Johnson, number 7, just 3.8 seconds down. We'll call that 4 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. Here's something a bit quicker as well. That's 8. And 9, Davo Johnson. 8, Jamie Coward. But Davo Johnson now goes into second place, just ahead of Gary Johnson. So Davo Johnson, number 9, second place, 1.6 seconds down as Connor comes through as well. Connor Cummins, number 10, 5th place for Connor so far at Glen Helen. So as we suspected, Michael Dunlop with the early attack here, 1.6 seconds is the advantage he has over Davo Johnson. That's 11, tips into the corner here, Michael Sweeney. And he begins his climb up towards Sarah's cottage. 12 though, Craig Neve looks like he's catching him, and indeed he is. He's just about a second up on Sweeney, so Craig Neve makes up the 10th spot in the top 10. Number 12, Craig Neve, and he is 1.6 seconds quicker than Sweeney to Glen Helen on the opening lap. But not too much in that. You just visually pick up that the gap was less than 10 seconds. I think this gap's a little bit more than 10 seconds though. That is 15, Derek Shields. And also there, I think that was Derek Shields. And who was that other one? 14, Davey Todd. 16 comes through now, Philip Crow. Philip Crow just outside the top 10 as he backs off a gear there for the right-hander at Sarah's Cottage. You should just hear that on the headphones from the effects mic. But the lead is with Michael Dunlop, number 6. Leads number 9, David Johnson, by 1.6 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 1. And third place, number 7, Gary Johnson, 2 seconds further back. That's 18, Rob Hodson. He doesn't trouble the top 10. 14th fastest here is Rob Hodson on his opening sector. But it is Dunlop at the front right now. Waiting the first man to go through the left bridge. It's 17 comes through. Danny Webb. And closely followed by Joey Thompson on the road. But Joey Thompson ahead on corrected time as Horst Seiger trips the beam at the left bridge. So the first man on the road at the left bridge. There's Ryan Neen came through. And where does he slot into our leaderboard? Number 24, Ryan Neen, 14th place. 14th quickest for Ryan Neen, so he's made a couple of places off the start line already as Ryan Neen. 25 comes through and 20. 25, Forrest Dunn. 20 is Julian Trummer. Disappointing start for Trummer, a little bit of a problem getting away from the line, so he's dropped a few places, might be a few more to come yet. Michael Dunlop now through the lap, as is James Hillier and Paul Jordan. And just need number 9, Davo Johnson, to get there, and we'll give you an updated leaderboard at the lap when Johnson makes it through. That is 37 through here, Richard Wilson. Gary Johnson now through the lap as well. 9 seconds down on Dunlop, but it's David Johnson that we want. That will give us our top 3. Gary Johnson, third place here at Glen Helen. And indeed, Dave O'Johnson drops into second place at the Laugh Bridge. He is just 1.2 seconds down on Dunlop. So Dunlop and Johnson very, very close at the top between number 6 and number 9. And in third place, it's Gary Johnson. And he started to fall away a little bit. And Connor Cummins now moves into third. Connor Cummins up to third at the Laugh Bridge. Cummins finally gets the Yamaha dialed in, and he was a little bit away from the pace here at Glen Helen as 48 Darren Cooper comes through, but Cummins hits the pace and moves into third place now at the Laugh Bridge. So at the Laugh Bridge, number 6 Michael Dunlop leads number 9 David Johnson by 1.2 seconds. In third place, number 10 Connor Cummins, he's 5 seconds back on Johnson. And in fourth place, number 7 Gary Johnson, who's 2.5 seconds down on Cummins. And making up the top 5 at the Laugh Bridge, it's number 8 Jamie Coward. He's just 1.2 seconds down on Gary Johnson. And Coward's by no means secure in that 5th place because James Hillier is just a third of a second behind him on adjusted time. So it is still very, very tight in the top end of the field as 43 comes in through here. Alan Brody in the 750 Suzuki. Alan Brody makes his first pass. And looking down our leaderboard there, I can see Indy DeCoppel, number 49. He's well inside the top 20, 16th place here at Glen Helen for DeCoppel. So keep an eye on him. But the story of the race on lap 1 at the Laugh Bridge, Michael Dunlop leads David Johnson by 1.2 seconds. Connor Cummins, number 10, is in third place, 5 seconds down on Johnson. In 5th place now, Derek Shields makes a move into the top 5. Number 15, he's 1.7 seconds down on Cummins. And making up your top 5 is number 7, Gary Johnson, who is just under a second down on Derek Shields. Back to you at the grandstand.
Yeah, they're swapping about all over the place in the top 10 there, but Michael Dunlop, fastest through the Sulby speed trap at 171.2 miles per hour. Can tell you Sam West is a retirement. He retired at Union Mills. And also Brian McCormack has retired, number 23 at Ballacrane, but Dunlop leads by just 1.2. Let's go to Roy Moore at Cross Four Ways at Ramsey Hairpin.
Near enough, Tim, we'll do it. First man into Ramsey, down through the box goes number 1, down through and then tight into the inside and round and wide out, but really on the pace there, number 1, Horse Saiga, getting looked after by team from Dave Montgomery, would you believe, who was the winner of the Manx Grand Prix all those years ago in 1989, in fact, the 350 class. But the second machine in this race, the RST Superbike Classic TT, is here. Less than 15 seconds covered the top 10 at Ballaugh, according to our engineer Matty Cunningham. 1, 2, 3 as quickly as that. Michael Dunlop on the outside, but tucked in right behind him is number 5, but ahead of them is Michael Rutter. That's going to be something to look at as they go up towards, and I think Michael Dunlop just got him on the little right-hand kink going up into Waterworks. So Michael Dunlop leads James Hillier by 10 seconds here at Ramsey, but totally incidental until we await for the arrival, unless he has really put the hammer down onto from the Laugh Bridge. But here is number 7 now. That's Gary Johnson, who he's safely through, but we're looking for the other Johnson to see what the difference is, and he's backing it in well. He is trying number 9, and there's only 2 seconds in it. Michael Dunlop still leads here at Ramsey Hairpin, but David Johnson, 2 seconds is the gap between him and Michael Dunlop, with Connor, number 10. This should be the distinctive sound of the 2-stroke in. On the overrun it goes, and then the 4 cylinders chime in, and away he goes, and then halfway up towards there, you can really hear it pick up, and he really bites into the back, and he's 6 seconds down on David Johnson, so a second loss. But David Johnson was trying here at Ramsey, but got it all anchored up and got round number 9. Then it's in third place, Connor Cummins. He's 6 seconds down on David Johnson. Fourth place for number 5, James Hillier, only 2 seconds down. As just going through there was Michael Sweeney, number 11. So Paul Jordan through. He missed a gear going away there, so that could be rattling the valves away going through. And number 12, Craig Neve, is here as well. Jamie Coward has gone through, and certainly when we were looking at the timing there, we were just trying to sort it all out. But we will give you the unofficial leaderboard here from Ramsey is number 15. I think that was 15. Yeah, that was the one we were looking for. Derek Shields holding on to that 4th place, but it's Michael Dunlop by 2 seconds from number 9, David Johnson, who in turn is 6 seconds ahead of Connor Cummins in 3rd. In 3rd, it's Connor Cummins, but he's only 0.6 of a second ahead of in 4th, number 15, Derek Shields. In 5th place, it's James Hillier, who's only 1.5 seconds down on Derek Shields. 6th place for number 8, JB Coward, 2 seconds down on James Hillier. 7th place, number 7, 2 seconds the gap there for Gary Johnson on Jamie Coward. And then in 8th place, number 1, Horse Saiga. He's only 1 second down on Gary Johnson. 9th place for number 3, Paul Jordan, just half a second down on Horse Saiga. 10th for number 4, Michael Rutter, 2.5 seconds only the gap to him, to Paul Jordan. And in 11th place, number 16, Phil Crow. Phil Crow there is just 3.5 seconds down on Michael Rutter. Ryan Neen was the one we were looking for to go through, and I think he's either just gone through. We didn't have time, but there's a very, very fast approach here, and this is number 24, Ryan Neen, and he certainly just runs a little bit wide, but gets it anchored up, and there's 19. Next machine through, that of Joey Thompson on the Wilcox Consulting machine, and he too is up towards the waterworks. So we can slot Ryan Neen now into 11th place, number 24, 3 seconds only down on Michael Rutter. That puts Philip Crow in 12th place, number 16, half a second down on, but there might be a change, because Michael Sweeney would probably come into that. There's Julian Trummer safely through after that dodgy start, and 25 is there as well, Forrest Dunn. The battle there, the 11th I think it was, for Ryan Neen, number 24, 3 seconds down on Michael Rutter. In 12th, number 16, Philip Crow, only half a second down on Ryan Neen. 13th, number 11, Michael Sweeney, 2.5 seconds down on Philip Crow. 14th, number 12, Craig Neve, fraction 0.126 down on Michael Sweeney. 15th for 18, Rob Hobson, 7 seconds down on Neve. 16th for number 14, Davy Todd, 4.5 seconds down on Hodson. And 17th, number 49, because he would be the highest number, that is just going through now, Michael Jacopo, and he moves up into 17th place, just 2 seconds down on Davy Todd. Then it's Andrew Farrell 18th, Forrest Dunn 19th, Richard Wilson 20th, Joey Thompson 21st, Josh Daly 22nd, and 23rd, Julian Trummer. Back to the grandstand.
Well, those times at the bungalow tell us that Dunlop is now 3rd on the road. He's already got past Hillier and Rutter. Gary Vines has retired at Ballacrane, and Derek Shields was quickest through the Sulby Speed Trap. Derek Shields, number 15, at 171.6 miles per hour. But is it going to be Dunlop, or is it going to be David Johnson that are leading at Cronknamona? And then more pertinently, who's leading here at the grandstand? We're awaiting the first to arrive at the Cronknamona, and then they've just got a few short miles to come down. Stephen Smith is confirmed as also as a retirement from this RST Superbike Classic TT. So at Bungalow, it was Dunlop by 1.466 seconds. Number 6 from number 9, David Johnson, Connor Cummins, and the light is on for number 1, Horse Saiga, now at Cronknamona. Connor Cummins was 8.2 seconds down on David Johnson at the Bungalow, and then Derek Shields just 0.049 seconds back on Connor Cummins. Light on for number 3, Paul Jordan. Michael Dunlop will have him in his sights now as well on the road, and be homing in probably about 8 seconds or so back at the Bungalow, but already, as I say, past Hillier, and as we heard, took Rutter just coming out of Ramsey Hairpin and up the road. So it's also lights on for 4 and 5 and 6. Michael Dunlop is 14.2 seconds ahead of James Hillier. But we need, of course, to see David Johnson and Derek Shields, and the lead is 1.9. Dunlop leads Johnson as we look up the road, ready to see Horst. It'll be Paul Jordan. Yeah, Horse Saiga has made it to Cronknamona, but I don't believe he's got much further looking at this. But it's going to get a cavalry charge. That's Paul Jordan. There is Dunlop. So we go now to look at the speeds, and Dunlop 124.868 miles per hour for Michael Dunlop. 15.2 seconds ahead of James Hillier, who's also gone through. Michael Rutter is through on his Team Winfield Yamaha, and Paul Jordan. But now we await, and we're going to get looking at Cronknamona. We, of course, got to have horse Saiger's not here, it wouldn't appear. Number 9, we've got to factor in number 15, Derek Shields. Saiger has retired just after Cronknamona, as through goes Gary Johnson and through goes David Johnson here at the grandstand. 1.9 is the advantage Dunlop enjoys over Johnson. There's Connor Cummins. He's 9.9 seconds down on Johnson, but we still got to get number 15, Derek Shields, on the Greenall Racing Kawasaki into the equation here until we can start to cement the leaderboard here at the grandstand. But no doubt about the race leader, and carrying all those injuries from the knocks and the bangs he's had of late, is Michael Dunlop. What a brave ride he's putting in here on the Classic Team Suzuki. A fantastic bike, the number 6 Suzuki of Michael Dunlop. Through goes number 11 there. Number 11 through here at the grandstand, and that is Michael Sweeney, but he's down in 9th place, and he's going to get shunted down even further once we get the number 15 bike through, and there he is. And Derek Shields is still in 4th. In fact, Connor has just extended a little advantage there. Connor Cummins, he now has a 2.3 second advantage over Derek Shields. So let's just give you the leaderboard then. Michael Dunlop, 1.9 seconds ahead of David Johnson. 6 leads 9, 124.868 miles per hour for Dunlop. For Johnson, David Johnson, that is 124.647. As there goes Philip Crow through, and also Davey Todd. Craig Neve has gone through as well. 3rd then is Connor Cummins, bike number 10 on the Yamaha, 123.519 to open up his account in this race, but he's 9.9 down on Johnson. 2.3 seconds then to number 15 in 4th, Derek Shields. 123.257 miles an hour was his lap. And then there's a gap of 1 second back to 5th place, number 5, James Hillier, 123.136 miles per hour. As through there was Rob Hodson, number 18. Jamie Coward, number 8. Jamie Coward is in 6th place, and he is just 3.9 down on Hillier. 7th is Michael Rutter, who's just 1.7 down on Coward. 8th is Paul Jordan, number 3. He's just 5.9 down on Rutter, and he's just 1.2 ahead of 9th place, number 7, Gary Johnson. And in 10th place, great ride from number 24, Ryan Neen. He's 8.7 seconds ahead. Behind Jordan, Johnson rather, but he is, well, just 0.7 ahead of 11th place, number 16, Philip Crow. Joey Thompson has gone through. There's number 20, Julian Trummer, also through. But what a ride it is so far by Michael Dunlop and David Johnson and Connor Cummins and Derek Shields. Well, pick your winner out of this one. It's so tight, and what's been so noticeable about that opening lap was how many times, apart from at the top, the lead was changing in amongst that top 10. It was someone would be 8th and up to 5th and back down to 7th. It really was changing quite dramatically. It's so tight. Michael Dunlop then is our race leader at the end of lap 1 of 4. What's it going to be at Glen Helen? Dave Christian.
The cameras are out and the first man approaches. So there's 2 together on the road. Dunlop, though, leads on the road. Michael Rutter tucked in just behind him. So Dunlop leads on the road now. Paul Jordan sweeps through here as well. And there's number 5, James Hillier, too. So they're all sweeping their way through here now. But it is, it's Michael Dunlop who's well clear so far. But it is number 9, Davo Johnson. Number 10, Connor Cummins. Number 15, Derek Shields. that are likely to make an impression on him. Of course, we've got the potential of pit stops at the end of this lap as well. Let's see what that will bring. Lap 3 will reveal all as Davo Johnson comes through. Michael Dunlop's lead is now up to 3.8 seconds. 3.8 seconds Dunlop leads as Jamie Coward sweeps through here, gets on the power. Closely followed on the road by Gary Johnson, but there's a little bit of an advantage on corrected time between them. Jamie Coward, as Connor comes through, he gets on the juice, still holds that third place. The gap between him and Davo Johnson narrowed slightly. The gap between second and third was 9.9 at the grandstand. It's 9.7 here, so just 0.2 of a second. But the big move is Michael Dunlop at the top. That lead of Dunlop's 1.9 seconds at the grandstand, 3.8 here. He's doubled his lead in the opening sector, and well, maybe he'll need to have something in the tank, because if he's got a pit at the end of this one, anything can happen in there. But at the moment, it is Michael Dunlop in charge. Davo Johnson second, Connor Cummins third. Need number 15 Derek Shields though, just to check that third place out. 2.3 seconds he was down on Cummins at the end of the first lap. What do we have now? We have number 11 Michael Sweeney, a little bit off the pace for Miko Sweeney. He is a quicker moving bike though. That is 15 Derek Shields. He does slot into fourth place on that leaderboard, and the gap between Cummins in third and Shields in fourth is now 4 seconds. Well, shade under 4, but we'll call it 4 for a nice round number. 11th place so far is number 12 Craig Neve. But I think Ryan Neen, who was holding on to a fantastic 10th place at the grandstand, number 24, Ryan Neen, got a great flyer on the first lap. Ryan Neen up to 10th place and riding number 24. So when he comes, that'll sort out potentially Michael Sweeney and Craig Neve and just push them down a little bit. As will 16, Phil Crow. Here is Phil Crow now. Indeed, Phil Crow makes a successful pass of Glen Helen on his second lap. Followed by 14 Davey Todd, and Phil Crow will move into 10th place at the moment, just ahead of Michael Sweeney. But Ryan Neen on machine number 24 will be the one we're watching out for. I think we've got Rob Hodson due next, number 18 Rob Hodson, and Ryan Neen should be just behind him on the road. But we'll have to switch our timing over very shortly as well, just to have a little look at Balaf Bridge, where the leaders will be making their presence felt very, very shortly indeed, as the machine does tip into the left-hander here. That is number 18. Indeed, it is Rob Hodson. So Ryan Neen is the next man. Here is Neen now, number 24, Ryan Neen. And he does take that 10th place. So Ryan Neen, 10th place. And he is just 9 seconds down on Gary Johnson in 9th. And he has a 2-second buffer between Phil Crow, who is coming up behind him in 11th. That's number 19 through here now. That's Joey Thompson. Not threatening the top 10. Joey Thompson, 16th fastest through here at the moment. At Balaf Bridge, Michael Dunlop, Michael Rutter, James Hillier, Paul Jordan, all through safely at Balaf Bridge now, as we await the arrival of Davo Johnson. He does trip the timing beam now there at Balaf, and Dunlop's lead's extended. 4 seconds it was here. It's now 6. So another 2 seconds for Michael Dunlop on the sector between Glen Helen and Balaf, as Julian Trummer makes his second pass here successfully. 17th quickest so far for Julian Trummer, but that poor start is costing him, pushing him a little bit further down the order. Connor Cummins now through Balaf as well. We'll give you his time shortly, as 49 Indy de Koppel comes through here with 25 Forrest Dunn. And at Balaf Bridge on lap 2, Michael Dunlop leads David Johnson by 6 seconds. So number 6 leads number 9 by 6 seconds. Connor Cummins in third, number 10. He is 8 seconds back on Davo Johnson. Now, it was 9.7 here, the gap down to 8.4. So is Cummins making a move on Davo Johnson? He's just pulling him back a little bit at a time. We'll have to look and see if that pit stop will shed any further light at the end of this lap, as well as 35. Josh Daly and 46 Andrew Farrell both come through. Farrell having quite a good ride. He started 26th position, up to 18th now, so he's made a few places. Other places made, number 58, Pochie Williams. Paul Pochie Williams started 31st. The last we seen of him, he was up to 22nd place. And of course, Mikkel de Koppel, Indy de Koppel, number 49, he gained 8 places on lap 1 as well. 37 comes through now, it's Richard Wilson. But we've just got time to give you a brief recap of lap 2 at Ballaugh Bridge. It's Michael Dunlop leads David Johnson by 6 seconds. Cummins, number 10, Connor Cummins in 3rd place. He's 8.5 seconds down on Johnson. In 4th place, number 15, Derek Shields. He's 6.5 seconds down on Cummins. And making up your top 5, it's number 4, Michael Rutter. He is 1.2 seconds down on Derek Shields. Back to you at the grandstand.
Yeah, Rutter's in a tow once again, 171.6, the quickest between now Derek Shields, Jamie Coward and Michael Rutter, all identical speed. 125.8 Glen Helen to Glen Helen. Chris Boyd, this is swift.
It's the same Ballaugh to Ballaugh. Michael Dunlop is upping the pace here. He was into Ballaugh on the first lap in 7 minutes 50. He's there in 7:41 on this lap. Obviously, that was a standing start lap against a flying lap, but nonetheless, he's on a high 125, nudging up towards 126 pace here.
The lap record 2017 was set by Bruce Anstey, 127.496 miles per hour. Other retirements, number 78, Richard Vielmet, retirement at Laurel Bank at Ebenezer Lane, but no time to give you any more. Ramsey Hairpin, Roy Moore.
Lots of four-cylinder machines in the Ramsey area, and here is the first of them down through. Back end goes. It's Michael Dunlop leading on the road from Michael Rutter. The two Michaels together, and he just has a quick look over his left shoulder and sees Michael there. Well, he hasn't got all that far away from him, because the last time, the first lap, when they were going away from Ramsey Hairpin, they were virtually side by side, and it was Michael Dunlop who took it on the road, but Michael Rutter's held him there with it. And there's number 5, James Hillier, through. Well, the gap between Dunlop and Rutter is incidental, because we're waiting for the arrival of David Johnson. That's not him in the background. That is number 3, Paul Jordan. After the single cylinder this afternoon, and then this is David Johnson here. It's up to 8 seconds now, the gap between Michael Dunlop, number 6, and David Johnson. Ramsey Hairpin, lap 2, as number 3 is hit. Number 8 is here with us now. That's Jamie Coward. So we'll shuffle them in when Connor Cummins appears here, because that's the man we're looking for. And the two-stroke has made Ramsey through his hometown. No chance to stop for a coffee on this occasion, but Connor is through. It doesn't sound like a two-stroke until it gets up to about 12.5, 14,000 on the rev band, and away he goes. But it's Michael Dunlop by 8 seconds here at Ramsey from number 9, David Johnston. In 3rd place, number 10, Connor Cummins, who's 9.5 seconds down on David Johnson. 4th place, number 4, Michael Rutter, 4.5 seconds down on Connor Cummins. So I think that has come down a bit, has it? Yeah, it certainly looks as though it has, but we've got to have Derek Shields here before we can do that. Derek Shields running at number 15, so at the moment in 5th place is number 8, Jamie Coward, 3 seconds down on Michael Rutter. 6th for number 5, James Hillier, 3.5 seconds down on Jamie Coward. Derek Shields, we believe, has broken the beam down the road. What's it going to be? This should be number 15 coming towards us now, very, very quickly indeed. And the engines are and the brakes are as good as the engine. He's got number 11 behind him, Michael Sweeney, but the difference there is obvious, because he's taken that advantage. 4th for Michael Rutter, 5th for number 15, Derek Shields, but he's only 2 seconds down on Michael Rutter. In 6th place then, it's 8th, Jamie Coward. He's only 1 second down on Derek Shields now. In 7th place, number 5, James Hillier, 3.5 seconds down on Jamie Coward. This number 3, Paul Jordan, 29 second downs on James Hillier. That was Craig Neve, you heard in the background going through. And 8th for Paul Jordan, 29 seconds down there. But we're looking for, well, we'll have to wait for Ryan Neen to come in. He was very, very quick the last time, and very, very sweeping out. This is not him, but certainly very, very quickly indeed is number 16 there. And that is Philip Crow. So he will go up into the top 10, I would think, just about, if we can get Ryan Neen through. This is number 14 here with us now, Davey Todd. So he is safely through as well. Doesn't appear to be revving it as hard as the others, and certainly that was noticeable off the line, but he's got to get it round as well, and that might be the thinking behind it. So how does that affect it? We're waiting for Ryan Neen. He was 10th at Ballaugh Bridge. Number 24, Ryan Neen. He was only 2 seconds down on Paul Jordan, so that could possibly put him up into about 8th or 9th place here at Ramsey. This is, I think, coming towards us now, Ryan Neen. It looks as though it is, and he's up to 8th place. 8th place, and he's got ahead on the road of number 18, but again he's a little bit wide. Has a quick look over his shoulder and sees right behind him there Rob Hodson, but he's taken the advantage out on Rob Hodson on the starting position. So no change at the top, but it goes down from 6th place now. In 6th, number 8, Jamie Coward, 1 second down on Derek Shields. 7th, number 5, James Hillier, 3 seconds down on Jamie Coward. 8th now for number 24, Ryan Neen. He's 7 seconds behind Jamie Coward, but he's only 2 seconds ahead of in 9th place, number 3, Paul Jordan. 10th for number 16, Phil Crow, just 4 seconds down on Paul Jordan. 11th for number 11, Michael Sweeney, 3.5 seconds down on Philip Crow. 12th, number 12, Craig Neve, 15 seconds down on Michael Sweeney. In 13th, Rob Hodson. In 14th, Davey Todd. 15th, Joey Thompson. And 16th, Julian Trummer. They'll be making the mountain climb to the bungalow, and Michael Dunlop has got there, and he's pulled another second out on David Johnson. Well, just about a second on David Johnson as they head for fuel, because at the bungalow on lap number 2, it's number 6, Michael Dunlop, by 9 exact seconds ahead of 9, David Johnson in second place. Connor Cummins has dropped another couple of places there. Well, another couple of seconds there. It was 9 here at Ramsey Hairpin. And again, getting the 2-stroke on the power. It's 11 seconds now at the bungalow, and he's only 1.3 seconds ahead of now in 4th place, Michael Rutter. 5th for number 8, Jamie Coward through the bungalow. James Hillier is 6th, and Paul Jordan 7th as they head for fuel. Back to the grandstand.
Yeah, the gaps that Michael Rutter is really getting the benefit of keeping with Michael Dunlop. He's doing what he did in the last race, getting the toe, and he is now, well, it was 7.7 the gap that he had on Connor Cummins. At Ramsey Hairpin, it was 4.4, and it is 1.3 now at the bungalow. But Michael Dunlop, well, Chris Boyd, he is on for 126s now. Forget the 125, but he's going to have to slow down.
It's gone up to near 126.3 on his Ramsey to Ramsey, 126 flat bungalow.
Yeah, 6 and 4. They're both together, 0.8 between them. Rutter's right up with Michael Dunlop, keeping he's a lap and a half almost now that he's kept with Michael Dunlop, and he is moving up and threatening to get into the top 3 and take it away from Connor Cummins. But of course, it's all could change here in Gasoline Alley. Hold on to your hats, because this is going to be fast and frantic. Light is on for number 5, James Hillier, now at Cronknamona as well. And David Johnson, 8.9 down on Dunlop. I can tell you, Gary Johnson retired at Quarry Bends. So now Michael Rutter and Michael Dunlop, the two Michaels, are going to come steaming in. So they're going to have to sort of slow down, though, as they come in. And here they are. And we'll look at the times, and then we'll be straight down to Chris Kinley. There is Michael Dunlop. The just slowing was Rutter. It's 125.6 and 100, well, almost identical as you would imagine. Chris Kinley, this is going to be, whoa.
And they're thinking about it, and he is doing it. He's changing the rear wheel for Michael Dunlop, so the rear spindle comes out. We don't normally do this classic TT. We normally do it at TT, but the rear wheel going in on that little slider. This is where time could be won and lost. The mechanic just getting in there. Yeah, straight into the slot. Very experienced here, making sure the chain is over that rear sprocket, and the spindle go back in again. You just feel it, get a little bite, and you hear the ratchet go in the background. Rutter's in. What is the lead then? That's what we're looking for. Dunlop led at the Cronknamona. David Johnson by 8.9, and here is Davo. Davo Johnson goes past us now. Michael Dunlop's still in. Michael Rutter's also in. We have James Hillier in, and we also have Davo Johnson, and somebody struggling to scrub up speed. It's Paul Jordan, and wow, Jamie Coward. They were close coming in. Jamie Coward into the pits. Michael Dunlop is in. Oh, just struggled to bite out, but he's got Michael Rutter just struggling to fire, but Michael gets her fired up and away. Across the line, then they go at the end of that lap. Michael Dunlop coming through Cronknamona. It was 8.962. It's now 8.871 into the pits. Michael Rutter was 11 seconds back at Cronknamona on Davo Johnson. It was 12.1 at the pits. There's James Hillier with the Ducati away, and Connor Cummins has dropped a little bit more time, and Connor's in the pits there. And we're going to keep an eye out for Davey Todd coming in. Keep an eye out for number 14 coming in, dear listener. Davey Todd. He's got a very special person helping him with his pit stop, and there's Davo Johnson in and out. Bit of dust kicked up as he left at the end of the pit lane there. Jamie Coward in at the moment, number 8. We've also got Paul Jordan. We've also got Connor Cummins. Here's Jamie Coward, the Pres Racing Kawasaki. Hopefully going to fire up. There she goes. Into gear. Steady away. Don't want to lose any time. Claxon goes once more. This could be number 16, Phil Crow, or number 12, or even number 11. It's number 15, and it's Shieldsy. And Shieldsy in 5th position across the transponder loop at the top of pit lane. And he is 5.860 up. So it's 6 from 9, from 4, from 10, from 15. And Connor wants to get the 500 fired up. He is, and Michael Sweeney recognises the fact that Connor's leaving the pits. Very experienced, and just let Connor fire up there. Oh, listen to that. Sounds pretty crisp to me. Looking at those pit stop times, I can tell you it was 105 for Michael Dunlop, 55 for Davo Johnson. Rutter was 1 minute 7. Connor Cummins 117. Paul Jordan 104 still going, and James Hillier 51. Tim.
That would give David Johnson a 1.3 second lead leaving the pits, because Johnson was 10 seconds quicker than Rutter.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so Davo Johnson, the man we're looking for, another bite leads there. I think that was Michael Sweeney, and it's Craig Neve that's into the pits now. Craig Neve over the line. Craig Neve holding on to 11th place, and we have number 16, Big Phil Crow in. Phil Crow slots into 8th position. He's only 33 seconds back off James Hillier, but only, importantly, Michael Sweeney, number 11, in 9th, 1.569. And here we have a bit of a special pit stop here, because we have a dream team on the front visor, and hopefully going to clean that screen very well. He's been in the situation that Davey Todd's been all the time. It's Bruce Anstey, guys. Bruce Anstey's taken the filler cap off, and now he's going to do his job. He's going to clean that front screen. So the lightweight classic TT winner, Bruce Anstey, great to have him back as Craig Neve leaves, number 12. And he is away. Here, the klaxon go once more. So Bruce is just clean. He's not done a good job of cleaning that screen. Clive's just telling him, come on, he needs to have a look at this. We need to get a new visor on for Davey Todd as well. Let's get that visor sorted out. It needs a little clip undone. They are all sorted. Well done to Clive, and well spotted by Clive. And there's Ryan Neen. And Ryan Neen, Tim Glover, is slotted into 8th position. And the number 18 machine, Rob Hodgson, he's missed his pit, so he's going to lose a little bit more time in there. And there goes Davey Todd, not being pushed by Bruce Anstey. Wow. Oh, we love stories of that. So into the pits, Dunlop led, but out of the pits, Davo Johnson is the man to keep a little eye on. This is going to be some last lap and 3/4 of the Superbike T Classic TT. Tim.
Absolute bedlam at times down there, but organised bedlam. But yes, the quickest one, Paul Jordan's bike has been pushed away, we're being told, but it was Hillier who was quickest, 51.389. Then it was Shields, 55.121. Davo Johnson, 55.567 seconds. Coward, 1 minute 4.194. Dunlop, 1 minute 5.774. And Rutter, 1 minute 7.4049. And Chris Boyd, I'll bring you in here. You could see the desperation in that pit stop for Michael Rutter to maintain being on the tail of Michael Dunlop, because it's working for him.
Absolutely desperate, yeah, and he was a couple of seconds down just leaving the pits here. He'll just need to keep with him, keep Michael in sight wherever he can, because, as you say, for a lap and a half, that has brought him up into the top 3. There's a podium waiting for him if he can stick with Michael Dunlop. Absolutely
there is. Danny Webb, we've told you about a retirement at May Hill, and Dave Moffat is a retirement at St Ninian's Crossroads. Still the bikes are coming in, but we've no time to see any more. Let's go out to Dave Christian at Glen Helen.
Yes, welcome back, Tim. Just waiting for the first man on a road. Machine flashes out at Glen Helen too. Onto the brakes, gear down, knee out. Michael Dunlop onto the juice as well. And Rutter is with him, but I think he's just had a little glance down to his right-hand side as the exit to the corner there. But Michael Rutter will have Michael Dunlop in his sights. Whether or not he can catch him in a straight line down Cronkovody, I don't know, but he's still just clinging on. There's not much in it, but the next man heaves into view. Onto the anchors, into the left-hander. That's James Hillier. Corner speed, excellent from Hillier. As 9, Davo Johnson comes, and Davo Johnson has taken the lead. Number 9, David Johnson leads Michael Dunlop, number 6, by 1.7 seconds at Glen Helen on lap 3. So Johnson on the flyer, just as Tim O'Hanlon predicted at the exit of pit lane. It is David Johnson with the lead now. Number 9 leads number 6. Let's see what else has happened after those pit stops. Jamie Coward into the left-hander, onto the power, and away up the hill. The tail light shining brightly now as it starts to get a little bit gloomy down here at the end of the afternoon. And that tail light a little bit shining very brightly at the back. It'll give somebody a marker. It'll certainly give Michael Rutter a marker as he chases Dunlop down. Here's the big man, though. No problems for him, but he has dropped time down to 6th fastest so far here. So there's time lost there for Connor somewhere along the way, maybe in pit lane, maybe on the road. But he's got clear road in front and behind him, so it's not been traffic that's caused him the problem. But Connor Cummins 6th fastest here at the moment. It is Davo Johnson leads Michael Dunlop from Michael Rutter, with Jamie Coward now up to 3rd place. But we need Derek Shields to arrive first. We need to check out the number 15 bike. And here he is right now. Shields is in 3rd. So Derek Shields has stolen a march on everybody in the gasoline alley at the end of lap 2. And now David Johnson leads Michael Dunlop by 1.7 seconds. Derek Shields now number 15 up to 3rd place, 23 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. And in 4th place, number 4, Michael Rutter. He's just half a second down on Derek Shields. And you fancy if Rutter's lost a little bit of time in the pits, he's probably going to gain it if he can cling on to Michael Dunlop's coattails. 11 comes through now, Michael Sweeney. He doesn't trouble the top order. It is Johnson from Dunlop from Shields, Rutter 4th, Coward 5th, Hillier 6th, and Connor Cummins now into 7th place for number 10. He is 3 seconds down on 6th place, James Hillier. Ryan Neen will be another man to watch. Number 24, Ryan Neen. As this is 12, Craig Neve coming through here. Ryan Neen started 21st off the grid. And he was in 8th place at the end of that lap after Gary Johnson pulled out. It shuffled everybody up a bit. He's stolen a march on Phil Crow over the mountain. As the next bike comes into the left hand here, that is number 16, Big Phil Crow. Crow into 8th place, just behind Connor Cummins, but on corrected time, 49 seconds is the gap. He is 14, Davey Todd, safely through here on his 3rd pass, but it is number 24, Ryan Neen, that will need to make up our top 10. Because Neen was just in there, and everybody else, of course, will shuffle down a little bit with Paul Jordan retiring in the pits. That'll move everyone up a little place further down the order. 46, one we were following in the first part of the race. Andrew Farrell started 26th. He's up to 16th now. He'll gain another place because Paul Jordan was ahead of him, so that'll be 15th. Potchy Williams we were watching on lap 1. Paul Potchy Williams, number 58, up to 20th place now. Here's Ryan Neen. He gets that cranked over into the left-hander, gets onto the juice and is into the top 10. Ryan Neen, number 24, 9th place he holds. He is less than 2 seconds behind 8th place Phil Crow, so a little bit of a ding-dong going to happen there as 18 Rob Hodgson comes through. Rob Hodgson dropped away a little bit there. He had some problems in pit lane. I think I heard Chris saying that he missed his pit. He was 12th on the entry into pit lane. He's holding 13th at the moment. But it doesn't look like he's going to drop any further. But Craig Neve ahead of him. And Davey Todd also ahead of him. So he's dropped 2 places. Indy de Koppel, number 49, was 15th place on the entry into the pit lane, and he started in 24th, so he's made up some places. The leaders are now at Balaf, and wow, we've got a race in our hands. Number 9, David Johnson, still leads at Balaf. He still leads, but Michael Dunlop in 2nd place is less than half a second. It's 0.4 of a second, the difference between numbers 9 and 6 at Balaf Bridge on lap 3. So Davo Johnson still holds a very, very slender lead, but 0.4 of a second is absolutely nothing. And if Michael Dunlop's on the charge, they might just wheel that back in by Ramsey if we're not careful. Derek Shields now, he has fallen to 4th place. Michael Rutter now ahead of Derek Shields on adjusted time. So Rutter must have kept with Michael Dunlop. Derek Shields, number 15, drops to 4th place. He's 3 seconds down on Rutter. In 5th place, number 8, Jamie Coward. He is 6 seconds down on Shields. In 6th, it's number 5, James Hillier. He's 2.5 seconds down on Jamie Coward. And still occupying 7th place, it's number 10, Connor Cummins. But he's only 10th down on James Hillier. And we've got a right old battle going up in that top order. Back to you at the grandstand.
Thank you very much out there, Dave Christian. And Rutter's on his own now. He can't hang on to the tailcoats of Michael Dunlop. 7.2 seconds advantage. He's got to do it on his own. And that might just play into Derek Shields' hand, even though Derek Shields has just, lost about 2 seconds on that run. You've been talking to Michael Dunlop, Chris Palmer. He's fit enough for 4 laps in your view?
Yes, he seemed really confident. He said to me, he gave me a nod and a wink, and he said, I can do 127s today. So, and he seemed on good form, and he seemed, it looked to me like he really was going to do it. What
happened?
To me?
Yeah.
Basically oiled the spark plug and went onto 1 cylinder, so that was me done.
Chris Palmer, let's go straight to Ramsey Hairpin, Roy Moore.
Yeah, well, we can hear them, but we can't as yet see them, but it's getting down to half a second, 0.4 of a second between them, and Michael Dunlop is here, full tank on boards, going to the finish. Again, the movement on the bike, and that's what we were just making comment about, that over 4 laps with his injury conditions, normally, if he's in a position like this, he just puts the hammer down and uses all his vast experience to pull away, but will the injuries that he's got allow him to do that? I would imagine to get on that and do it the way he does, but he didn't have any trouble in just lifting up off the seat, getting a quick look over the left-hand side. He didn't see anybody, but he would have seen David Johnson now, the back end going light as he comes in, and behind him is number 5, James Hillier, but David Johnson is down to second place. Michael Dunlop from Belaf Bridge here to Ramsey Hairpin has pulled out 3.7 seconds. Well, 3.3 actually, because it was 0.4 of a second at Belaf Bridge, and now the gap is Michael Dunlop, number 6, leads David Johnson by 3.7 seconds here at Ramsey. That is Jamie Coward that we hear going through the back. And again, as they set off up towards there, the old red light on the back of the seat, Jamie Coward holding on to 3rd place here at Ramsey, but we haven't as yet had the arrival of Derek Shields, who I think was ahead of him, but we haven't had Michael Rutter either. We haven't had Michael Rutter here at Ramsey. Number 4 has not gone through, so that could be a retirement. As Connor Cummins goes through now, that will move him up into 4th place. So it's Michael Dunlop from David Johnson, but it looks as though the demise of Michael Rutter has taken place somewhere from the Belaf Bridge here to Ramsey, because now into 3rd place goes Jamie Coward, 36 seconds down on David Johnson, but only 3.5 seconds ahead off in 4th place, number 10, Connor Cummins, and he too fully fueled and ready for the dash on the final lap. But Derek Shields could get ahead of Connor Cummins, and certainly Jamie Coward would probably see him off as well if he can get here in a reasonable time. He's here. There he is, number 15, Derek Shields. He's 30 seconds down on David Johnson in 2nd place, and 5.5 seconds ahead off in 4th place, number 8, Jamie Coward, who in turn is 3.5 seconds ahead off in 5th place, number 10, Connor Cummins, with only half a second separating in 6th place, number 5, James Hillier, and number 10, Connor Cummins. I think Connor Cummins probably has got past James Hillier from Belaf Bridge.
Just to let you know,
there was
Roy,
only half a second.
Michael Rutter has stopped at Gwen's to make adjustments. Michael Rutter stopped at Gwen's to make adjustments is the reason he's not made it to you.
So named by our guest rider this afternoon, Giacomo Agostini. Gwen's, the white lady out there just past Belaf Bridge. So making adjustments, whether he'll be able to continue, we'll have to keep our eyes. That's past Belaf Bridge, so that's, well, I suppose when you kind of announce that, it's the good news that you want to hear, that maybe this just mechanical, and certainly Michael Dunlop has kind of put the hammer down from Belaf Bridge, which is just back up from where they are now, number 12, or where Michael Rutter is. There's number 12, Craig Neve through. So who else will make adjustments to that? Philip Crow and Ryan Neen would be 2 names that you'd be looking for as they went through Belaf Bridge. They were only battling it out with less than a second between them. So how will they be when they get here to Ramsey? So Michael Dunlop from David Johnson by 3.7 seconds. 4th, Jamie Coward. And there's number 14, that's Davy Todd, safely through Ramsey Hairpin. Davy Todd safely through. Belaf Bridge just getting checked out on that one now. We'll be switching over to the bungalow very shortly indeed. Michael Dunlop has made the bungalow. David Johnson has made the bungalow, and there's a further second being added to that time. Well, half a second, I would suggest. Michael Dunlop through the bungalow, lap number 3, leads this race by 4.04 0.50 of a second. In third place, it's James Hillier through there, but we're looking for Ryan Neen, and there he is now, absolutely bang on cue and tighter this time on the normal line through Ramsey Hairpin. He was a bit wide, and he's moved up now into that seventh place. He's 58 seconds down though on James Hillier, but James Hillier and Connor Cummins are only separated by that half second. Number 11 Michael Sweeney has just gone through, and number 18 Rob Hodgson as well, who had that overshoot in the pits. So how does that put them into the positions? Seventh, number 24 Ryan Neen, 58 seconds down on James Hillier. And in eighth place, number 11 Michael Sweeney, the last rider to go through. He's only 8.5 seconds down on Ryan Neen. In ninth, number 12 Craig Neve, 19.5 seconds down on Michael Sweeney. And in 10th place, number 14 Davy Todd, just 6 seconds down on Craig Neve. Into 11th place, number 18 Rob Hodgson, 12 seconds down on Davy Todd. Julian Trummer going well. He should be at Ramsey now, or should be seeing him at Ramsey now. Number 20 and number 19 Joey Thompson, and that is the case as they go through. So there, and back at the bungalow, it's James Hillier. There's no change there. What is the difference between Derek Shields and David Johnson? 33 seconds, but Jamie Coward is only 6 seconds down on Derek Shields in fourth. James Hillier is only half a second down on Jamie Coward, and Connor Cummins is only 2.5 seconds down on James Hillier. Back to the grandstand.
And the light is on for our race leader, number 6, Michael Dunlop. He's ahead in this RST Superbike Classic TT. He's a 3-time previous winner of this race. Is he going to make it 4? Well, that's the question, with one more lap to go, or one and a little bit if you count the run down from Cronk Nimona. Fastest at the Sulby Speed Trap, 172.1 now, is number 18 Rob Hodgson. Speeding tickets here in pit lane for number 45 Charles Rees Hardesty, 30 seconds, and 30 seconds for number 56 Daryl Tweed as well. Quickest, the second fastest pit stop of the top boys was Davy Todd, so well done there to Bruce Anstey. And number 16 Philip Crow has retired in Ramsey, but eyes peeled now on Glen Crutchley Road for Michael Dunlop. We can hear him and now see him. Here he is. Crosses the line, including the pit stop, of course, 118.287, but that Suzuki sounds as if it is singing as it went past us here on Glen Crutchley Road. Chris Boyd, this is a fantastic
We're going to see
effort.
A flying final lap. This is what you want, lap times wise. We want to see a flying final lap, a duel between Dunlop and Johnson. Let's see what they can do.
Well, Johnson and Hillier. Hillier's moving up. He's got ahead of Connor Cummins at the bungalow. 2 together. 9 and 5. So Hillier is keeping tabs with David Johnson, and that's moving him up the leaderboard as well. The gap 4.8. Michael Dunlop leads at the end of lap 3 of this RST Superbike Classic TT by 4.8 seconds. Ahead of number 9, David Johnson. Suzuki then leads Kawasaki by 4.8, as we should see Jamie Coward about to come into view. Coward crosses the line now, provisionally in fourth. We've got a slot in though, Derek Shields, and we're waiting of course as well for Connor Cummins. But similar to the situation we had with Rutter and Dunlop, we've now got one where David Johnson, number 9, is giving a tow to number 5 James Hillier. There is Connor Cummins, and Connor Cummins is 2.3 seconds behind Jamie Coward, who in turn is 2.6 behind Hillier. But we're waiting for number 15, Derek Shields. Light is on, of course, at Cronk Nimona for him. In fact, that's the only light on the board at the moment. This race is really getting stretched out. But Derek Shields, is he still in third position? He'll be coming out of Governor's Dip and into our view very shortly, coming past St George's Football Club and past the police station sign as well. That's when we'll get our sight, and there he is, crosses the line now. And we wait to see. Derek Shields, yep, he's 35.5 seconds down on Johnson, but crucially 5.2 seconds ahead of James Hillier, and that's staying around about 5.5, 6 seconds. So no real position gained or time gained yet by Hillier, but can Hillier stay with David Johnson and get that toe that might mean that he gets into the podium position? Hillier in turn is 2.6 seconds ahead of Jamie Coward, and Coward in turn is 2.3 ahead of Connor Cummins. It's a real battle and dice for that final podium position. Number 11 across the line, that's Michael Sweeney. But yes, Dunlop and Johnson are the two that are really fighting it out for the victory in the RST Superbike Classic TT. Derek Shields is trying to fend off Hillier, Coward, Cummins for that third position. But what a ride it's been so far by number 15, Derek Shields. And he is out there on that lovely prepared Kawasaki. The number 15 bike, the Greenall Racing prepared machine. Ryan Neen was in 7th. That was Craig Neve just going 3. He provisionally slots down in 8th position, but Ryan Neen, number 24, was 7th at Cronk-Namona, so we need to see exactly where he's going to be, but he's 1 minute and 5 seconds down on Cummins, but he's 9.3 ahead of Michael Sweeney. 14 goes through. Davey Todd, 113.763 miles per hour for Davey Todd. He's 6.8 seconds down on Craig Neve, but now we should see Ryan Neen come in, and we'll see where he slots in on the leaderboard. We're not going to have time for that, but we'll relay it to Dave Christian, and let's head to him now at Glen Helen.
Dunlop into the left-hander. Big knee out onto the power. Little bit of a slide from the back wheel, but he got the drive up towards Sarah's. And I can hear him now knocking back a gear into that right-hander there, and then he'll be making that climb up past Lamfell and on towards Cronkovody. It's been a Michael Dunlop masterclass so far. He was disjointed after the pit stop at the end of lap 2. He was knocked off the top spot, but he soon got back onto it, and 5 seconds, 4.82 seconds, we'll call that 5 seconds was his lead at the grandstand at the end of the lap. Here's the next man in, it's Davo Johnson, and closely followed by James Hillier, but Johnson starting to move a little bit away from Hillier, but not making any impression on Dunlop. 7 seconds the gap now. It was 4.8 at the grandstand. It's 6.8 now. We'll call that 7. That's 2 seconds. Michael Dunlop has taken out of Davo Johnson on the 9 and a bit miles from the grandstand to here at Glen Helen in Sector 1. And that is Dunlop just pulling further and further away. He is controlling this race, doing exactly what he needs to do just to keep his nose in front. Next man in is Jamie Coward. Wrestles that bike down, gets back onto the juice and makes his climb up towards Sarah's. The gap between Hillier and Coward, it was 2.6 seconds at the grandstand. It's 5.5 now, but of course Derek Shields and Connor Cummins both still got a little bit of interest left in this third place. Here's Cummins now. He gets onto the juice, and he's closing in on Jamie Coward. The gap was 2.3 seconds at the grandstand. It's 1.4 now. So Connor Cummins squeezed a second out of Jamie Coward on the run from grandstand to here at Glen Helen. But Derek Shields is the man that they're all trying to catch. The 5th and 4th is probably not going to be any consolation at all. It's that podium place of James Hillier that everybody's interested in. And Derek Shields was the man occupying it. James Hillier currently sitting there awaiting the arrival of Shields here at Glen Helen. Here is a green bike. It is number 15. It is Derek Shields. He gets onto the juice and into third place. It is Derek Shields. Looks to be secure-ish in third place. 38 seconds down on second place, Davo Johnson, so he doesn't look like he's going to threaten the lead. But crucially, he is keeping that gap with James Hillier. 4 seconds it is, 4.24. We'll call that 4. James Hillier, the gap was 5.2 at the grandstand, so looks like Hillier's squeezed a second out of Derek Shields on the run in here, but that's because he's going to be getting a tow from Davo Johnson as they're together pretty much on the road, and that might just speed James Hillier up. He's done it before in TT. You've seen him running 1 and 2 with John McGuinness, getting McGuinness to go past him and then tucking in behind John's back wheel to get a little bit of a tow around, so he's experienced in this sort of tactic. 11, there's Michael Sweeney safely through on his last lap. So James Hillier might be the man to squeeze Derek Shields off that podium place if he can just start gaining more and more seconds with each sector. Connor Cummins could just squeeze Jamie Coward out of 5th place as well. There's only a second and a half between those two. But Michael Sweeney a little bit further off the pace. And it's Ryan Neen who's had the race of the day, probably outside of Michael Dunlop. Number 24, Ryan Neen, started 21st position, was in 7th place as they came through the grandstand. He's a little too far adrift of 6th to make any impression on that, but it's still a reasonably good ride for him. As number 12, Craig Neve, he makes his last pass through here at Glen Helen on the final lap of this Superbike TT. And we looking for the next man on the road. Should be number 14, Davey Todd was the man. Todd was in 10th place at the grandstand. He's probably not going to make an impression on Craig Neve. Craig Neve, 7 seconds was the gap. Here's 14, Davey Todd now. He's onto the juice and making his climb. Indeed, he's 6.7 seconds the gap between Todd and Craig Neve in the battle for 8th place. And it was 6.8 at the grandstand, 6.7 here. So there's absolutely nothing in that. Nobody's making any moves. And the next man into the left-hander, it's 24, Ryan Neen. And Ryan Need does move into that 7th place. So 7th place, he's 1 minute and 10 seconds adrift of 6th place Connor Cummins. So I don't see him making that up. But he's got a 10-second buffer with Michael Sweeney in 8th place. 18 through now there is Rob Hodson. Rob Hodson, 10th place here at Glen Helen. And he's made up a place there. Somebody's fallen away because he was 11th at the grandstand. And Rob Hodson up to 10th place here. So a top 10 finish for Rob Hodson on the cards if he can just keep that bike running. Let's have a little look at Belaf Bridge. The leaders are through there now. It's Michael Dunlop leads. There's another 3 seconds to Dunlop between Glen Helen and Belaf Bridge. Number 6, Michael Dunlop now leads number 9, David Johnson, by 9.4 seconds. 9.4 seconds, the advantage to Dunlop at Belaf Bridge. James Hillier currently occupying 3rd place, but Derek Shields not made it to Belaf just yet, not expected to just yet either. In 5th place at the moment, number 10, Connor Cummins. He is 10 seconds down on Derek Shields. Jamie Coward doesn't appear to have made Belaf, and that will be a concern for everyone, but Jamie Coward not made Belaf just yet. But at Belaf Bridge, Jamie Coward, I'm hearing, is retired at Cronkovody Straight, so that's desperate news for him, but keeps everybody else in the hunt. But Dunlop leads Johnson by 9 seconds at Belaf Bridge on the final lap.
Thank you very much, Dave Christian. I can tell you at Belaf Bridge, yes, Hillier is into 3rd. He's 0.2 of a second ahead of number 15, Derek Shields. But Hillier has jumped up into 3rd position at Belaf Bridge. And, Connor Cummins obviously moving up a place as well into 5th now with that retirement for Jamie Coward up at Cronkovody. But it's Michael Dunlop who's pulled the pin, Chris Boyd.
Sectors of the race, both out to Glen Helen and to Belaf. Belaf to Belaf, 126.3. Let's get to Roy Moore in Ramsey.
Yep, back end slithering away on the right-hand side as he comes in, and just again has a quick look, but he must be fully aware now that there will be nobody behind him. Michael Dunlop is through. And all the speculation about getting that quick lap in at the end and moving about and maybe tiring a little bit, absolutely nothing at all. He's 9.5 seconds ahead of his nearest pursuer, David Johnson, at Belaf Bridge on this, the last lap of the RST Superbike Classic TT. Monday the 26th of August, start time 14:15. Well, that didn't happen, but certainly when it did happen, they've given us some terrific entertainment. This could be David Johnson here now, certainly is, and he's keeping with him number 5 James Hillier, so they're pulling one another along there, and that could be a good move. David Johnson is out to 11.988, 12 seconds is the difference now, a further 3 seconds being extended, as it was from Glen Helen to Balaf, from Balaf to Ramsey Hairpin, a further 3 seconds added. So the lead now for number 6, Michael Dunlop, 11.988. 12 seconds on our unofficial timing, really, but 11.988 on official timing, transponder timing. And James Hillier holding on to that third, 41 seconds down on David Johnson. So he must have got the move on, because he's pulled a second back on that. So whether he's fully aware that Derek Shields was only that fraction of a second behind him, or the signalling boards have indicated that is the case, and then Connor 10 seconds down on him. But it should be Connor, or should it be? It will be Connor who will be here next. And here he is, the big man in Ramsey, his hometown, towering above that machine, but he gets it round exactly the same way each time. And then he too just goes to the left-hand side and takes a rip off. And then away it goes up there, 14 seconds down on James Hillier, but that doesn't mean anything really. Or does it? Just checking out there. No, well, we'll have to wait for the arrival of Derek Shields to get that one into sorted. And James Hillier is incidental, really, because between them was number 15, Derek Shields. So 0.2 of a second it was down there at Balaf Bridge. So what is the difference here at Ramsey? It is number 15 who's here with us now, Derek Shields. He's holding on to that 4th place. He's only 2 seconds down on James Hillier for a podium, so he must be on the move, because he's pulled a 12-second advantage now. It's a couple of seconds he's taken out of Connor Cummins on the run from Balaf here to Ramsey Hairpin, so that'd be one to watch out. We'll check that one at the bungalow to see who can get the most power down on the run from Ramsey Hairpin here up into the brilliant sunshine, I would imagine, up onto the mountain, up the mountain mile, up through Guthrie's, and then up to the Black Hut, and then round the veranda and into the bungalow. There's only 2.3 seconds in the battle for 3rd place between number 5 James Hillier and number 4 Derek Shields. Within 5th place, number 10 Connor Cummins, 12.5 seconds back on that one. Michael Sweeney should be the next interview now, if we're going by that, and he's got that battle with Ryan Neen on, and there he is, Michael Sweeney, back end hanging out. Well, he done that one year and finished up in the railings on the left-hand side through. So Michael Sweeney through, 1 minute and 25 seconds down on Connor Cummins, but it's that battle with him and Ryan Neen that we are probably looking for. Michael Sweeney, Ryan Neen, 12 seconds it was, and Ryan 1 minute and 10 seconds down on Connor Cummins. The other riders expected to come through. We made note that Paul Williams, number 58, he was going in. I think he was up to about 19th place on the 750 Kawasaki and going well. Number 58 there, a late start for him. And although not great deal of experience on big bikes, Andy Farrell, last year's Manx Grand Prix winner, number 46 on the Steadplan Primus 750 Kawasaki, having a good ride too. And also in 19th place, we noticed Darren Cooper is number 12. Craig Neve is here with us now, so no change on that. It'll be Ryan Neen's arrival that will change things a little bit, maybe. Davey Todd will be here shortly, we expect. And what will be the difference between him and Craig Neve? There's Davey Todd. Looks a bit quicker than he was on the previous occasions, but there's only 2 seconds in it. But then Ryan Neen is here. Ryan Neen has made Ramsey Hairpin. He's holding on to top 6. He's in 6th place, quick as ever. Distinctive green fairing there, and he just goes a little bit wide as he does previously, but gets it all anchored up. And I think it's a ploy on the bigger bike to get it lined up so they can absolutely blast it away. Through the bungalow they go. Michael Dunlop now 13 seconds ahead off number 9 David Johnson. We'll look out for that other battle as number at Ramsey Hairpin here. It's number 14 Davey Todd is through, 12 Craig Neeb and 18 Rob Hodson. 24, Ryan Neen. Let's go to 6th to 10th of the riders through so far. It's Ryan Neen who's holding on to 6th, 1 minute 11 seconds down on Conor Cummins, but 14.5 seconds up in 7th place, Michael Sweeney. It's then 8th, Rob Hodson, 9th, Davy Todd, and 10th, number 12, Craig Neave. Conor Cummins through the bungalow, 18 seconds down on Hillier. Johnson second, though, back to the grandstand.
Still got to wait for Derek Shields, and he is 3.6 seconds down now on Hillier at the bungalow in 4th. But we await the light coming on for Michael Dunlop, bike number 6 at Cronknamona. And, well, he is a little bit late, but ahead of that, Ramsey to Ramsey was 126.38. Bungalow to Bungalow, we were on for 126.4. But I can tell you, I think he is overdue. 30 seconds overdue at Cronknamona is our race leader, Michael Dunlop. So there could be yet another twist in this race yet again. Michael Dunlop and David Johnson and James Hillier, 9 and 5. The lights are on for them at Cronknamona, but no Michael Dunlop at Cronknamona. So it looks as if it could be the Australian David Johnson who's going to take his first victory here on the Isle of Man at the Classic TT. No Michael Dunlop at Cronknamona, but David Johnson and James Hillier are there, and it could well be therefore a podium as well for number 15, Derek Shields. So drama right at the end of this RST Superbike Classic TT. It's, well, we should get our race winners in. We've got a back marker in amongst them. There he goes, but let's now see David Johnson across the line. He's got a comfortable advantage as well. David Johnson, and the checkered flag waves for him, and he takes victory. Dave Johnson with the win, and the left hand comes off the handlebar, and it's 125.150 miles per hour for David Johnson. Hillier, 124.921. We're going to have to wait a little bit for confirmation on third, but 42.8 is the gap. I can tell you that Michael Dunlop retired at Hilbury, so late drama. Rider okay is the important thing to say, but Michael Dunlop retired at Hilbury, and that has denied him taking what would have been putting him on his own as the most successful rider at the Classic TT. It is, well, that close from the end to be denied, but that won't be in the mind of David Johnson, the Australian. He's claimed a victory, and it also means that in second place we have James Hillier. We'll confirm third shortly. There's been a burnout down by the grandstand. There might be more to come. Chris Kinley.
Here he is, a win at the Isle of Man for Davo Johnson. And James Hillier. Oh dear me, I'm not, you're going to swear. You are. David Johnson calls me over. Oh, hang on, the boys are here. Look out. Team's here. Don't drop the bike, David. Apologies for anybody crossing the line. They won't be able to see what's going on. David Johnson wins by 41.267 seconds.
Chris Kinley, I can tell you, Shields is second, and Hillier is third. So, yes, Shields has come, well, from Cronknamona. He's 2.2 down at that point, but he's put in a heck of a sector, and he's got second, Chris.
I'm about to get abused again by Davo Johnson. I got abused by Bruce the other day. What a run that is for Derek Shields on the last lap, grabbing that second place. James Hillier drops to third. We'll tell James that in a minute. Take your lid off. There's a lot of Aussies, I'm sure, in there are going to shout in a minute or two when you take your lid off. Stop there. We need to move these two guys over if we can do that in a minute. Swap the two boards over. A podium at the TT and now a win at the Classic TT for Australian. Gives Phil a big hug. David Johnson.
Oh, far out.
Whoa.
I'm not going to swear. I learned at the podium at the TT not to swear. I actually put everything into that last lap, and I saw my pit board, and
I know Michael had a bit of an edge on me and then he broke down, but it is what it is.
You had a lead after the pit stop. He changed the wheel.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. But yeah, the bike was mint. I mean, it wasn't the best of weeks for us, like getting the thing sorted, but we got there in the end. So.
Did you see him pull down by Hilbury there?
I did, yeah. But I mean, I broke down the last year I was here, so you got to take the good with the bad. It's unfortunate for him, but I'm going to take that for sure.
Talk us through the rest of the race. What was it like out there? Hard.
It was really hard work. I mean, that throttle's it's made for freaking Hercules. Like, it's so much stiffer than any modern bike. Yeah, that's the thing with the classic bikes. To make them real quick, they actually are really hard to ride. But the pit stop was mint. The bike was mint. We changed a lot again before that race. And yeah, I don't know what the last lap was. I sort of
125 and a bit last lap.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I was sort of, when I saw him, I sort of lost it again. I lost the plot a bit, but no, I'm happy, really happy.
What does it feel? What does this mean?
To get a podium in the main TT, I didn't want anything but where I'm right here right now. So I put everything into it. I know Michael was probably the faster guy, but like you say, you got to finish to win. But big thanks to the Alistair Cowan racing team. Alistair built an amazing bike. It's the first time I've ridden it. I did 4 practice laps before the race and won it. So well happy.
I'm sure those Aussies you were taking around the grandstand the other day, are they still here? But they're happy.
There's loads at Hilbury there. So big out to the Sportsnet crew at Hilbury. I was going to try and wave to you, but when I saw Michael break down just there, yeah, I lost the plot.
David, well done. Many, many congratulations.
Thanks very much, Chris. Cheers, mate.
Oh, God, all sweaty hands again. And a man who's made a move on the last lap and first time into... Where you going? It's a bit of a slope in here. You've never been in?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I know the race went okay. I was struggling a bit with arm pump on lap 2 and fair play to the Greenhall boys. They gave me a great bike that could do the trick, you know. So I got aboard at Ginger Hall there in the last lap saying... P4 plus 0, so I presumed that was a -0, so I just gave it everything I had over the mountain. Worked out, second place, happy out.
Looking at Cronk the Mona, okay, you were 2.2 seconds behind James Hillier, and then you beat him by 1.5 seconds into here. Gaz from the camera crew gives him a big fist bump. That's some run. You must have rode the absolute spuds off that.
Yeah, I tried not to think of the result or the podium. I just tried to hit all my apexes, just crack the throttle as early as I can, and yeah, it worked out. Great job. Thanks again to the Greenhall Racing Gang.
You're a TT podium virgin. Now you're in here. How does that feel? I think you'll get a bit hungry for more to turn right and not go straight on.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a good feeling. Paul Phillips gave me the number 2 there. And yeah, so it's great to be in here, you know. Delighted.
Well done, Derek.
Cheers, Chris.
Well done. Thanks very much, buddy. Cheers. And the Oxford products. Oh, Ducati's in here in the 3rd place. In the end, he won't mind the fact that he's finished 3rd. James... Derek just pipped you there at the end, but wow, we love burnouts in here. That was a cracker ride, and after all the preparation and everything and the last couple of years of getting this bike in here, this is worth it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, our goal there was the top 6, and I thought that was a little bit of a push, but you know, you've got to be there at the end, riding these old dogs about here, and tried to look after the bike. The exhaust broke on the last lap there. We were struggling with fuel, both lap 2 and 4. It was missing and running out coming the Craig and Drew Governors. So, but you know, hey, it's a good end to a good day. The weather's turned out nice, and the atmosphere's good out on track. It's you know, that's what it's about. I think it's I'm made up for Oxford products, and Stafford, who owns the bike, he's done. You know, I don't think he expected that when he got out of bed this morning. To be honest, neither did I.
You followed Dave around for a bit as well. I pulled you along a bit, but Derek Shields, a slimy person, got you, didn't he?
Yeah, what was the gap in the end?
Well, at the end, you were 2.2 up at Cronk the Mona. He beat you by 1.5 here.
Yeah, I had to restart it at thingy. It's cut out, and but hey, we're still in here. So I'd have been pissed off if it had been 3rd to 4th. But you know, hey, we're done, so I can have a few drinks now, and you know, the boys definitely deserve them. So.
Family's here, which is the best bit.
Yeah, it's nice. Always nice to end the day in here.
Good man. Well done, James.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well done, buddy. Yeah, well done. There's your top 3 then in the RST Classic TT Superbike race. Tim?
Stay on the line, Chris.
Go ahead.
Because that was exceptional race, wasn't it? And Derek Shields, to put, I mean, it's not far, is it, from Cronk the Mona to the grandstand, and to pull that and get up onto 2nd place was incredible.
But then when you hear what James just said, then the fact that he had to restart the bike, that's when he kind of made the thing. But like we made a point this morning, it's not a race. This is a time trial. This is a test, and you've got to get it to the end. And those little things, those little nuances, the thing just cut sorting out. They're having to restart. That cost you zillions of seconds. So, you know,
we don't
well
know, of course, do we, what's happened to Michael Dunlop? Could be fuel.
Yeah, could be. Could be anything. You're right there. Could be anything.
We'll find out, I'm sure, very shortly. Thank you very much, Chris Kinley. We've got a practice session still to go. That's going to get underway at scheduled for 7:10. We'll just see the first bikes away on that, and then we will call it a day. But Chris will be he's got plenty of time, but making his way up to just call the first few away in the Manx Grand Prix. A very long day, and we've got more action, of course, tomorrow. We're on air at 11:30 tomorrow. It is the contingency race day having to be used because of the 4-hour delay today. Something had to give. So we've got 12:15, the Manx Grand Prix newcomers race. The A and B classes are 4 laps. The C class is 3 laps. And then we have that away at 12:15. Roads close at 11:30. At 2:45, there'll be a Manx Grand Prix senior and junior qualifying session over 2 laps. At 3:30, the Manx Grand Prix lightweight and ultra lightweight qualifying will take place over 2 laps. And I think that was number 37, Richard Wilson, that was giving it a bit of beans down below us here in the tower. Very, very happy to have recorded a finish. So 3:30 then is that second qualifying session over 2 laps. Roads are scheduled to be open around the course at 16:45, 4:45. So first, David Johnson, his first victory here for the Australian, 125.150 miles per hour on the last lap. A race time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, 27.422 seconds. And he was 41.2 seconds ahead of in second place after that, well, late drama again. There was changes all the way through what was one of the best races we've had for some time here, I think. The RST Superbike Classic TT. Yeah, number 15, Derek Shields, 124.494 miles per hour on that last lap. And a race time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, 8.689 seconds. In third place, just 1.5 seconds back, was number 5, James Hillier, 124.921 on the last lap. 1 hour, 14 minutes, 10.235 seconds. In fourth, and 16.279 seconds down on Hillier, was number 10, Connor Cummins on the Yamaha, 123.641 miles per hour on the last lap. A race time of total time, this is, of course, 1 hour, 14 minutes, 26.514 seconds. Fifth, and what a good ride by the other local in the top 5, 2 Manxmen in the top 5. Fifth was number 24, Ryan Neen, not in the seeded entry, so he's worked his way up to 5th. That's exceptional from Ryan Neen. He was 122.692 miles per hour on the last lap. He was quite a distance behind Connor Cummins in terms of time, 1 minute 16.229 seconds. 6th was number 11, Michael Sweeney, 121.338 miles per hour on the last lap. He was 20.3 seconds down on Neen, but he was 29.9 seconds ahead of in 7th place number 18, Rob Hodson, 122.121 miles per hour for Hodson. He was 11.9 seconds ahead of in 8th place number 14, Davey Todd, who had the second quickest pit stop with Bruce Anstey helping him out. So Davey Todd, 120.420 on the last lap. He was 9.2 seconds ahead of in, let's get this right, 9th place Craig Neve on a Kawasaki. And then he was in turn 27 seconds ahead of in 10th place number 49. That's a good ride too. That's Mikkel de Koppel. In 11th place, number 46. Good ride from Andrew Farrell as well. He put in 118 on the last lap. De Koppel 119. and Craig Neve 118.7. Davey Todd 120.4. In 12th, and a good ride here too. There's just good rides all the way down here. 12th place, Joey Thompson. So good to see the Yorkshireman on form. 117.5 on his last lap. In 13th is number 37, Richard Wilson, and you heard bringing that Norton home, how much that meant to him when he was just giving the throttle a bit of action down below us, and clearly very happy. But no burnout like we saw from Hillier and Johnson. That was the biggest burnout I think I've seen here at the grandstand, and it drifted with the direction of the wind right in front and across Glencrutchery Road. So a great performance from Richard Wilson. 14th then, number 35, Josh Daly. 15th was number 58, Paul Potchy Williams. 16th, number 29, that's John Barton. 17th, number 25, Forrest Dunn. 18th, number 48, Darren Cooper. 19th, number 43, that's Alan Brodie. 20th, yet another finish for David Hewson, number 31. 21st, and again another finish for, well, he'd be getting to veteran status, really. Won't mind me saying that. No, he's going to give me a punch when I see him next now. 51, Mark Parrott. 22nd was number 34, Mike Booth. 23rd was number 41, Daniel Ingham. 24th was number 33, Dennis Booth. And 25th was number 45, Dave Madston Migdal. 26th, number 56, Darrell Tweed. And 27th, number 45, Charles Rees Hardesty. So those are all the finishers. There may well be, because I can still see the checkered flag is ready. There may well be a few that go past as we're doing this podium presentation.